What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. This video I just wanted to show you some more chicken lights that I installed on my 2006 Silverado 2500 HD with the LBZ Duramax. So as you can see, we got a bunch of orange lights on the bumper here. This is my new Steelcraft HD bumper. Highly recommend this bumper. I already have it on my Trail Boss, my 2021 supercharged Trail Boss, and I decided to have one installed on the LBZ. It's very critical to have if you actually use your truck for off-roading, or if you live in an area that has a lot of wildlife. Like here in PA, we have a lot of deer car collisions. I actually hit a deer with my car 2 years ago and destroyed the headlight. Luckily that was it, but we also have elk and black bear, lots and lots of elk. And these bumpers are just so useful. They also protect your grill from sucking in bugs in the summertime, because you have this mesh here. This is kind of one overlooked benefit, is this mesh absorbs a lot of the moths that fly towards your headlights that would otherwise end up in your radiator, in your cooling stack, and clog up your cooling stack. So protects your cooling stack from any kind of debris, because the factory grill is quite large. I mean, it's probably about 2 inches wide by maybe 1.5 inches tall for each opening. So these openings are huge. You could have a whole stone go in there, like a chunk of gravel or some piece of debris on the highway. So this mesh protects your cooling stack. And then of course your whole front end is protected. So I decided to continue with the chicken lights, and as you can see, I ran them along the bottom of the bumper here. Now I still have to do some roof lights, cab lights. I plan to use some old 90s era cab lights for the 90s era Silverados. But want to just show you how I wired these. And if you missed my prior chicken light video, I installed chicken lights on the fenders, as you can see here, on the fender flares. These are 1 1/4 inch watermelons, 6 LEDs each from United Pacific. And then I installed them along the rocker. We got 6 on the rockers, and then here on the rear fender. And then once I get an aftermarket bumper, I'm going to install some red watermelons on the aftermarket bumper, some clearance lights required by law now that my truck is over 80 inches wide with these tires. So, and then I got to get the roof lights, the cab lights, which are going to be a little more tricky to install because I got to drill into the roof. But I figured I would complete the look of the chicken lights by installing them up front. So we have these massive full-size 3-inch watermelons that are authentic big rig watermelons made by Grand General. These are DOT approved. I decided to put 2 on the side of the bumper here because it's such a massive area here. So I put 2 over there, and then 1 on the corner here, and I think it just looks super cool coming down like this. And then I got 1 small one there to kind of bridge the gap between the 3-inch watermelons up front. So we got 1 small one bridging the gap there. And then here we have another 3-inch watermelon just on the inside of these uprights, which this is actually mirror polished stainless steel that I got pre-cut. And basically just use 3M tape to stick it on to these uprights. As you can see, it's basically like a mirror. Then we have these authentic watermelon mounts, stainless steel watermelon mounts, brackets from big rigs as well. And we got 2 small ones here underneath the Don't Tread on Me plate. And then completing the look, we go around. So I think it looks absolutely cool. And I'm gonna give you guys a better look in just a minute I just wanted to show you the wiring, the technical aspect before I show you like a full 360 with the lights on and stuff like that. But basically I'm using the 3-prong connectors here, and there's some tricks to using these. So when I was running them on the fenders and rockers, I did this as well. Basically, you're going to want to put dielectric grease in each of the prongs when you stick them in to the connector, and that dielectric grease will basically seal each prong when they go into the connector. And then after you do that, you wipe the grease off the outside of the connector, and then you take some liquid electrical tape and just liberally coat the entire connector. Okay, so it just becomes like one solid piece. So there's actually 3 bullet connectors here, but you can't see them anymore because they're completely covered with liquid electrical tape. And then you're going to want to tape where the wires go into the connector on the bottom, and then for each bullet. Okay, so you're going to liquid tape those, and then you're going to want to use some wire loom for sure. Okay, and these are all plugged into my D switch, my Diode Dynamics D switch. So I can control the brightness, I can dim them, I can do different things with them with my Bluetooth app. But I think it's gonna look super cool cruising around at night with the truck and these massive 3-inch watermelons. Originally, I wasn't gonna put these large watermelons up front. I was just gonna stick with a row of small watermelons and just do the big ones on the corners. But I just loved the way these look. They're just so iconic and so classic. And you know, the bumper is so massive that even these 3-inch watermelons, they don't really look too massive on this bumper. You know, I was a little concerned that they would look a little too big, but they actually don't. So I mean, as you can see, you got this huge blank area here, so it kind of fills that blank area up. Even during the daytime, it kind of fills up that massive blank area of blank steel, which I think is cool. But these massive watermelons up front kind of really emphasize the size of the truck and kind of focus your attention towards these uprights here. So just gonna finish zip tying everything. I zip tied everything behind this tube here, so you can't really see. The wires are right behind the tube. They're zip tied nice and tight. You can see one zip tie there. And then I just got to finish cleaning up some of my wiring. As you can see, I will be installing fog lights and spotlights in these cutouts here. So that's going to be the next project. I have to kind of customize a bracket for them, which I'm going to do. So that's going to be the next project. And then we got to get the cab lights going. I'll show you some pictures of the cab lights I was going to install. Like I said, they're from the 90s, 90s style cab lights. They're not like the LBZ or LLY, LB7 cab lights, which have like that center pod. I'm not a big fan of that center pod, and you know, it just kind of doesn't look good. So I wanted 5 individual lights. So that's going to be a little more stressful because I gotta, you know, drill into the roof. So I'm going to really have to mark everything up right. But I think this looks awesome. So let me give you guys a full 360. I'm just going to finish cleaning up the wiring. I'll give you a full 360. And I'll also show you how it looks at night. Although it's kind of hard to see at night because the lights are so bright. It kind of just washes out on camera. So you really have to see in person to really get the full effect. But man, I think it's going to look so cool, especially once I get the cab lights installed. Man, this is going to be awesome. And then the rear bumper, I'm going to run one red watermelon on the side of the rear bumper. Once I get the rear bumper, I'm going to have one of these on the side, and then I'll put some smaller ones, like 3 in the middle, and then maybe smaller ones or larger ones on the edge. So, and that'll complete the 360 chicken light look for the LBZ and the cab lights as well. So yeah, super cool. So this is actually the best way you're gonna be able to see the chicken lights. I got some bugs here. It's actually like shortly before sunset, because once it gets dark, the lights wash out the camera. But you can see the first set of lights that I did, fender flares and rockers. And then here you can see on the Steelcraft, you can see how massive the Steelcraft bumper is here. I mean, it is huge. The video doesn't do justice, but you know, from there to there is probably like 18 inches, so it's a lot of room to fill. And I think those two watermelons kind of give it a full, like a complete look. Otherwise it's just like a big blank piece of steel. So let me just give you guys a little 360 here. So I think it's gonna look sick once I have the roof lights up top there. It's gonna look absolutely insane. You can see the glowing Chevy emblem there. Yeah, I think it's gonna look awesome. Once I have the roof lights, it's gonna look complete. It's so funny how on a 3/4 ton, it didn't come with roof lights from the factory. I guess it was like 79.5 inches wide, and the legal limit is like 80 inches before you have to put cab lights on. So it didn't come with cab lights from the factory, so I'm gonna have to drill holes. I was also debating getting the Cab Over America solar lights, but I don't know if how reliable those are, but yeah, I think it looks absolutely amazing. Check that out. I'm glad that I put the two larger watermelons next to the uprights. It really emphasizes those bars there with the stainless steel strips on them. And then I think on the corner there, it just looks perfect. And this is gonna add safety to the truck too, because people are gonna be able to see where the bumper is. People with small cars, they're not gonna accidentally slam into my bumper. Much better visibility in low light conditions. You know, here in Pennsylvania, the weather's really sketchy, especially fall through spring. Summer's not quite as bad, just occasional thunderstorms and tornadoes, but fall through spring, you got blizzards, you got fog, you got sleet, ice, just crazy weather in Pennsylvania. So, you know, visibility is always bad, so it's good to have some extra lighting. So I think it just looks absolutely amazing. And I'm gonna do that rear bumper, and I'll put some red lights on the rear bumper on the corners and 3 in the middle. But I think it just looks absolutely awesome. And I'll get you guys a video from at night, but at night it's just gonna wash everything out. You're not gonna really be able to see much. You know, right now it's just perfect, because you can see. I mean, the hardest part about this job is just measuring everything out. The rest of it is tedious, you know. You really gotta spend time to measure everything out so it's perfectly symmetrical. That takes time. You don't want to rush that. You don't want it to look crooked, because people will notice that. I mean, if it's like a 1/4 inch off or something like that, no big deal, but I try to stay within 1/8 of an inch in terms of symmetry and accuracy of my measurements from one side of the bumper to the other, so it doesn't look, you know, half-assed, like a half-assed job. But yeah, I think it looks awesome, and I can't wait to finish the look with the bumper and the roof lights. It's gonna have a 360 look all the way around the truck. We'll have chicken lights going all the way around. So I wanted to do something different. I don't want to look like every other truck on the road. A lot of people just will buy pre-made kits, and I don't like the light bars on the rockers unless you have like a newer truck, like a L5P Duramax, or like a 2019 and newer. Those LED bars look good, but for an older truck like this, I don't think it matches. I really wanted to have a custom look. I wanted something different, and it's a lot of work, guys, doing something like this. It looks easy, but man, it's hours and hours of work. I would say between all the lights I've done so far, minus the rock lights, just the chicken lights alone, if I had to add up how much time I spent from researching, testing different lights, because I have to mock up the lights to see which pattern looks the best, mocking them up, researching different brands of chicken lights, measuring, wiring, and then buttoning everything up and cleaning all the wiring up and waterproofing everything. It's hours and hours of time. I mean, you're talking to do all these lights, probably, if I added everything up, I'd say probably 1 to 2 weeks of 8 hours every day. It sounds crazy, but everything takes time. Measuring out, you're not going to be able to do this in one afternoon. You're not going to be able to knock it out in one afternoon. This is hours and hours of time, a little bit each day. One night I would go out, mock up the lights, see where I want to place them roughly. Then the second night I'd go out again and fine tune it. Once I figure out which design looks the best, then I'll start measuring drilling points where I want to drill and have exact measurements. That takes a whole afternoon, just measuring everything out. Then drilling it, that takes time as well. Then after drilling it, mounting it, then wiring. I mean, it all takes time. Waterproofing. So, but I think it looks absolutely amazing. So I'm going to give you guys a look at night, and I'll turn my rock lights on as well once the sun goes down. But we got a lot of other projects for this truck. Like I said, the roof lights, bumper, and lights on the bumper. Got to do the Diode Dynamics fog lights and spotlights in the cutouts there. That's just lighting stuff. And then I got to do the boost auto tow mirrors. I got to do the downpipe eventually. I want to do the downpipe this summer, or at least try it. I'm a little bit nervous about that one, so we'll see how that works out. But I'm going to try the downpipe, and I just got some WeatherTech floor liners. Got to finish doing some minor rust proofing. I did pretty much 90% of the rust proofing. I got to do just the rear differential, the leaf springs, the axles, a couple other minor areas. Just some minor rust proofing, and you know, maybe some other minor things. But those are the biggest projects that we're going to be doing in the near future. And then we're going to be taking this truck to various shows. Going to be going to Truckers for Hope, the local truck show, big rig show. Probably going to try to make it to the Jamboree this year again. Last year I won an award for the Supercharged Trail Boss, so we're going to try to go to the Jamboree. And then we'll try to go to Carlisle Truck Nationals and anything else that pops up. But I'm going to show you guys the footage of this truck at night with the chicken lights. Highly recommend you guys install some chicken lights on your truck. It's a lot of work, but I think they just look so cool. They have this cool vintage look. I mean, the glow is just incredible. It looks super cool, super unique, and it enhances the safety. So here's what it looks like at night. There's a lot of washout, but it is pretty bright. So that's pretty much it for this one, guys. Stay tuned for more LBZ Duramax content. Check out my truck and off-road playlist for all of my LBZ content. And until the next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.